Hi, everybody. Welcome to Sunday Funday and happy Super Bowl Sunday.
It is Super Bowl
Funday.
Sunday. Of course, everybody knows I'm a Steeler fan, but we're supporting the home team.
Go Buccaneers.
So we hope you have some great plans today. Maybe getting together with friends, watching the game, watching the commercials, whatever it is that you like to do.
Yeah, that's the most fun.
But as always, we would love to hear, where are you calling from? Are you hearing us okay?
Yes.
Are you seeing us okay?
From where are you watching? Sissy is here. Let's get it started, Sissy, even if it's just the three of us. Cheers.
The proper way. Mm-hmm.
Happy weekend. Hope you're having a good one. We were worried last night because it was so windy and loud rain. But then we got up and I went to my bar class and the sun was shining and I was so excited. There were a few clouds, but I just thought, there's blue sky. So it's going to be a good night. Well, thanks, Glenna.
We also want to know what I have a message for Glenna too a little bit later. But we need to know.
Andy's here from Lansdale, PA.
All right, Andy Prescott.
Hi, Andy.
Make sure you check him out when he does his lives where he'll be playing some Tickling the Ivories. That sounds dirty, doesn't it?
As he does so well. Maybe that's why he does it.
What was I saying? Oh, we want to know what you're going to be eating.
Oh, yes.
We're going to be using
taking with you if you're going somewhere.
3 of our recipes will be in use today.
And they're all on In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy on our YouTube channel.
We're going to have the bacon wrapped shrimp.
Yep.
Which we made, was it yesterday or the day before?
We made it the day before yesterday, yeah. And Glenna and LaDawn have made that themselves too. She sent us a picture, remember?
Judy doesn't know this, but she's going to make the buffalo chicken dip.
Oh, I get the job?
Yes.
He went out grocery shopping this morning and got all the ingredients. Hi, Sherry.
And we're going to do a version
Hi, Ellen.
of our perfect filet medium rare, but only we're going to slice it into little medium rare
I was
strips.
wondering what the third event was.
And then we're going to have some of our tortilla chips and cheese and sour cream and everything. So it'll be a mishmash of the best of In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy.
So does that also mean, though, that we forego Sunday
Brie?
No,
the Brie's going to be there too.
Oh, Brie too.
Oh, yes. So we have 4.
How many people are we having over?
We have 4. It's just us.
A day of gluttony.
So it's going to be 4. Well, listen, the game doesn't start till 6 something. And then
that's true, 6:30.
Yeah,
I think.
so you have to have stamina to make it through all of those commercials and the halftime show, which will probably be a too long version of some song.
I should show you what my uncle sent me. We've told you about my Uncle Dave, who is sending these classic things all the time, whether it's a joke or some tome. So he sent me a tome the other day, but it really was actually very good. Well, I was reading it aloud to Paul because my uncle had just sent it to me. I think he saves the dirty jokes for you and sends me the clean ones. I was reading it aloud and it brought tears to my eyes. I mean, it was really such a well thought out and well written.
Do you want to give the synopsis on it?
Well, it was basically, and it was written by a retired Marine colonel. And the reason I remember that is because in part of the material, it said Semper Fi. And he basically said, for whomever is going to sing publicly, whether it's at a public event or a sporting event, and they're going to be singing the national anthem, he would appreciate it, as would all the soldiers and sailors and Marines and all who served and retired people, if they would just sing the song like they learned it in kindergarten.
The way it was written.
The way that it was written, without all the extra notes.
Up and down the keys and, holding,
But so, it was just really well done.
And what it said was, it's really not about you. At that point, we know you're a performer. We know you're famous. Yep. But think of all the people that have served in the way that they want to hear it.
And who are wearing their Purple Hearts and silver stars and all that sort of thing. So
Judy did get choked up.
Well timed. Yeah. I actually talked to my parents this morning and asked if they had received the tome too. He said, "Oh yeah, I got it. I have to show you my other side." So I showed you this guy, but I didn't show you this guy.
Oh, okay.
So I'm decorated with my my skull and crossbones and as much red as I could possibly muster.
Something, so she's going to dismiss me in a minute to go get it.
Oh, but I do have these on too. I don't know if you can see the design of them, but I just broke out all of the the skull and crossbony type things I could find for the Buccaneers. So I did say that if, regardless of who you're rooting for, what team you're rooting for, that we wanted you to come and, you know, raise a glass
and have fun. You know what? And
have fun,
that could
celebrate.
That could be your assignment today.
What's that?
Is who is going to win?
Well, I'll show you what it's not going to look like at the stadium.
Yeah, it won't look like that.
Probably won't look like that.
Much more empty.
Because I found that, oh boy, I found that picture from 2011. Paul and I had season tickets back then. And that's what our Buccaneers, that's why I'm showing you all the skull and crossbones that I'm wearing, because of course with the Buccaneers, it's all about the pirate theme. But isn't that something?
You know what else is funny?
And we actually have a pirate ship at the stadium.
And what's funny about that?
Chicken wings, smoky, celery, carrots, dip, cheese, crackers, chips, peanut butter. Nicely done, Nancy.
Somebody went to that same Super Bowl that we went to, which is when the Steelers played the Arizona Cardinals.
Yeah.
And
Laura.
Somebody who went to the game said, I was so disappointed because Tampa Bay.
I heard that in class today too.
So anyways, they said I was really disappointed because that ship looked so big on TV, but when I was there, it was small.
Right.
And I had to explain to them, that's because there are rules in the NFL about how many seats you must have if you're going to host a Super Bowl game. So they took the big ship out and they put a teeny little ship in there to make room. So I said, no, it really is big.
And then I must tell you, I found another picture. I don't think it was actually from the same year, but this was a very cold Super Bowl. And we were trying to tailgate. I had to jump in the back of the car and sit inside just to warm up. I had these very furry boots on and a ski jacket and a scarf. And oh my gosh, it was just so funny.
Judy brought a whole new meaning to the word tailgating. She was inside the tailgate.
Inside. Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, we had some very cold days taking you to Steelers games in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, I had a couple of...
She had very fashionable shoes.
They just weren't very practical shoes. I think I spent half that game in the ladies' room underneath the hand blow dryer.
Talking to Ellen on the phone. What am I doing?
What am I doing? Tears streaming down my face. That would freeze.
But Judy couldn't. Actually, that was a playoff game.
Yeah.
And that was one when the Steelers were losing big at halftime, and then they poured it on in the second half.
I think there were 3 touchdowns in the second
half. So I said, go back into the bathroom. I'm doing great now.
No, come on now. Remind them of what my record
Judy's
is.
like 7-1 in attending Steelers games, including the
10-9. Or 10-1.
10-1.
Or 9-1. I mean, give credit where credit is due.
Okay, before we get into...
wind chill of -9.
Before we get into the promos, we have some other business to talk about. One is that it is 8 days until my birthday. Now, don't embarrass me by buying anything too expensive. But what I want for my birthday, I guess it must be a Monday then, if it's 8 days.
I think next weekend, Valentine's Day falls on a Sunday, right? Isn't this the 7th? So we'll wear the same thing.
So my
our Valentine red.
My YouTube channel has surpassed 900.
Oh,
so I need 79 more as of now.
Right. How about
to get to 1,000?
How about this business, you guys? Check that out.
Look at that.
I know.
That's old news now.
I know. But isn't that nice? So the 2 buddies sent him a congratulations. You're making it happen.
So I need to get to 1,000 by my birthday. That's my goal. So talk to your friends.
Okay.
And if you don't like my channel, talk to your enemies. Have them sign up.
Just have them. Just get him there. What'd you say? You want 1,000 in the next 8 days?
No, I want to get to 1,000 in the next 8 days.
Yeah, you want it to get to 1,000.
So that's only 10.
87.
I need 79. So that's 10 a day.
That's not bad. That's not too much to ask.
Anyway, we joke, we laugh, but we love that you guys do participate in the channels.
Oh yeah.
And for those that got the one where I had the gem guru and our very good friend Tom Elliott.
Yes.
And when we got to Belize, we found out we had no sound. So that was, I called episode like 41 and a half.
Yeah.
But he came back. So I'm stitching together 3 different lessons from that. And the audio is working. And Glenna will be featured in a question.
How about that, Glenna?
That she was
making
asking.
You a star.
And she asked, and part of what she asked about, I never got to because we lost the audio. But anyway, she was asking about, because she knows Tom's love of antiques.
Oh, yes.
What does he have a favorite antique piece and why? So that'll be one of the questions on there
that you bring up
in the Q&A series, which happens on Wednesdays at 5 p.m.
Yes. So you just had another one a few days ago, and then there's another one that just came out yesterday morning. Shall we show it?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So why don't we do that? Oh, yes.
So you think you know Garnet? I don't think so. Garnet, first of all, is completely natural. That means there are no treatments whatsoever, no heat treating, no dyeing, no irradiation. Nothing is done to improve the color of the garnet. The garnet is one of the most diverse and confusing of all the gemstones in the gemstone kingdom. Number 1, you have almandine. Number 2, you have pyrope. Number 3, you have spessartine or spessartite garnet, they sometimes call it. Number 4, andradite garnet. Number 5, grossular garnet. Number 6, uvarovite garnet. I am just like 2 or 3 minutes into this lesson, and I'm already exhausted.
Oh, that's funny.
And it's true.
There's a lot to go on.
I only did a less than a minute promo. There's another whole group of those groups that I told you that blended together to form yet another group. And then you get into all of the color variations of it. Yeah. You think you know Garnet? I don't think so.
So how long is that episode?
It's not that long. I kept it to, I want to say 18 or 20 minutes, but it really is a great primer. I don't go into any detail in any single one. I will leave that for upcoming lessons. But you needed to know how vast and how incredible that gemstone is.
Yeah, I've always wondered with so many varieties why it was under one umbrella. Why not break it up and call them all instead of all garnet?
Well, that's a great question, and you'll have to watch a lesson.
I'll have to wait. We'll have to.
No,
wait
I will.
For the
I will
next
tell you.
episode.
I will tell you something about it. So, yeah, there's certain physical, chemical, and optical properties that are similar, but this is the only group that they actually have different types of chemical compositions. They're slightly different. They all have certain things in common, but the crystal structure is the same, and that's cubic.
So that was enough to keep it in the same family.
But it can be very confusing.
Yeah, I know. So it's interesting, but that one came out yesterday morning. So if you go to Paul's channel, and I'll show you where that is, what it looks like, so that you can go back and visit the comments again after our show is over. And then when you scroll through, you'll be able to see where that channel is. And because the link is there, you can just click on it and it takes you right over to the channel. So yeah, a family tree of garnets. That's about right.
And what's happening on Judy Crowell Style?
On Judy Crowell Style, my YouTube channel. Oh, well, is now the time to show you my little thing.
I would love
Okay,
it.
so this is, that's the one I showed before. I'm going to leave that there because I want to be able to show you. Oh, I did show you where that was.
Sure.
Okay, so I wanted to brag because look what I got in my email.
75,000 views.
Yeah, so I guess on February 3rd, that milestone hit. And so that was actually really exciting. So it was very funny. We were comparing notes because YouTube was sending us all these different kinds of notifications about the things that had happened. So we're like, oh, yeah, well, look at mine.
It was
so
great.
it was cute.
75,000.
Tomorrow morning, at 10 a.m. Eastern time, we did do another recipe. And we thought that that was sort of appropriate, even though we didn't do this particular recipe based around Super Bowl. It kind of works because everybody's in the kitchen or fixing or, deciding on what recipe they're going to make. So that's what this one is all about. What's coming out tomorrow. It was really, really fun to do. Have you ever wanted to make lemon chicken at home in your own kitchen because maybe you were inspired by a favorite recipe that you've had at restaurants? I guess the problem with lemon chicken, if you're not careful, is that it can dry out the chicken.
You don't want dry chicken.
Right.
So we're going to show you how you can have your favorite lemon chicken and it's going to be moist and juicy.
And you are watching In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy. And Paul is first apron. I am second apron for this episode because you did all the research on it.
Right.
And if you want, you can tell us what we're going to need.
Okay. First of all, we're going to need chicken breast.
Chicken breast.
Now, what you want is the skin on the chicken breast, and that was a little challenge for me. I'll talk about that in a little bit.
Okay.
We need 1 cup of butter.
All right, so you use a whole half stick
That's
of
correct.
butter, and specifically unsalted butter. So look for that as well.
If you give this to me, I'll undo that. While we have the garlic salt.
All right. So we have the paprika, right? And we're going to need 1 tablespoon of paprika. We also, in the herb category, need oregano, and you'll need 1 tablespoon of dried oregano. We need garlic salt, and in this case, we just need 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. So the oregano is a tablespoon, the paprika is a tablespoon, the garlic salt is 1 teaspoon. So now that you know all you're going to need for the recipe.
Yes.
Except the one part that I left out because it was getting kind of long-winded.
Okay.
I said, it is lemon chicken, so we need a couple of lemons too. That was the very next part that you'll be able to watch tomorrow.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a challenging recipe, and the taste was great.
Yes.
I have no qualms with that. Wasn't what I expected.
Well, because we were anticipating, and this is why, and I think we should put it on video again. We were anticipating because we always loved the version that Buca de Beppo made, and we would get it every time. And there was always enough where you could take some home for leftovers. So I think that was why we always had that in our minds.
Well, there was an incident.
That's what lemon chicken tastes like.
I don't know if I can.
Thanks, Glenna.
I don't think I can give this away unless, because I think you covered, did you cover this in the thing?
What's that? Yes.
And I won't say it. But anyway, it was still good. Is that when we had our company?
Yes.
Yeah, they enjoyed it. It was good.
Paul's son, Kyle, and his girlfriend were here. So you talked about we had patrons at our establishment that night for dinner.
We had people that had reservations, and I didn't mean that they reserved the seat. They had reservations about eating our food. But anyway,
but they were cute. They skedaddled upstairs when we were shooting the video. But what I didn't realize was because it was in parts, because it took quite a long time. You had to do this, then you had to let it marinate in the fridge for this, and then you had to cook it for this number of times. So I kept stopping the camera and then picking it back up again. And they were here for the very last part of pulling it out of the oven. Yeah, so
and that's a good point. That was
like, oh, now we know how it's done.
And that was the other thing about the recipe. Just full disclosure is that it was marinated, which is why it's not dry.
Yes.
And however, that took when you're filming it, it's awkward because it has to marinate for like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah. I even say in the description, so don't make this one if you want to eat.
Yeah, you're really hungry. Or you can marinate it overnight. But anyway, so it was fun. It was delicious, but we're going to try a different one as well.
Yes. I really want to try another one because the other one doesn't call for the bone-in skin on. The other one doesn't call for 3 hours of marinating.
Right.
The other one adds an ingredient that we didn't add to this one that we both love and kind of thought, oh, that's the thing that was missing in this recipe. So,
but it was delicious. I mean, it really was. I take nothing away from the recipe.
Oh, I have to pull this back up again, Glenna. Secrets. Oh, now I have to watch it. No, it's good. It's worth watching. Oh, and I should show you too where you'll be able to find it so that tomorrow morning, whether it's 10 o'clock when it uploads or whether you're able to see it at another time, that's the location where you'll be able to watch it. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's not very long. It's like 15 or 16 minutes long. So kind of just fun to get another idea. And then I really would love for you in the comments section below the video to let us know how you make it, because it would be fun to compare.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
So that's what to look for.
And
Lemon chicken tomorrow.
by the way, we haven't looked. I haven't looked for a while, but have we had any more submissions from the audience to do?
Oh, recipes?
Yeah.
No, but speaking of submissions, I hope Linda is here watching today, because we have a very fun segment that we started.
Oh, that's right.
Called the Bumper Stickers and Bar
Bar
Signs.
Signs.
And usually we do it at the top of the Sunday Funday, but we got so much into
Everything
Super Bowl and everything. What are you cooking? And wearing red and showing all my skull and crossbone jewelry, my pirate booty, that we forgot. So Linda actually contributed a couple for our segment. And as a result, I had to change the name from Bumper Stickers and Bar Signs to Bumper Stickers, Bar Signs, and Oops.
Okay. I'll take that.
Okay. All right. So let me show you the first one, because it's pretty funny. We sell crack and shell pecans.
Nice.
So I kept reading it and reading it and reading it. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? So she said, it tells you how important learning your punctuation is. She said, I'm sure they meant we sell, crack, and shell pecans. So I love that. What do you guys think? Is that hysterical or what?
Well, it pays to advertise. It might have had some unseemly characters that were coming in.
Exactly. Exactly. Oh my gosh. I just thought it was so funny. So,
but I get it, because sometimes people who might be imbibing in mind-altering drugs sometimes get hungry.
Yeah.
So you can get your crack and your shell pecans in the same place.
All in the same spot. Yeah.
Right.
Well, she submitted to.
Oh, she did.
So as Bumper Stickers, Bar Signs, and Oops continues, here's the next one. And it's very appropriate, especially for what you guys are all writing in. Winter conditions. Drive with cake. I thought, oh, well, maybe it's all about making sure that if you get stopped on the side of the road because you get stuck in a snowdrift, that at least you have something to eat. Yeah.
Well, also, but you can't drive and text, but I guess you can drive and eat cake at the same time.
I guess.
I love it. Good job.
Anyway, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
So Linda, thank you very much. I thought that was so much fun for your contributions. And all she did was she either went to my page and click message at the top where I'll get your message, or you can go into Messenger, which is m.me/Judy Kroll Style, and send me pictures of the bumper stickers, bar signs, and oops that you see on the road somewhere or in a bar or in a parking lot. So,
you know, I think I like going to bars more than I like driving around. So maybe my next one will be from another. So we have that new bar to try in town.
That's a convenient coincidence.
They might have something new and different.
They might. We'll have to look around with our phone, take pictures of whatever we see.
Well, also we have to go back to Belize because the Tipsy Tuna had the whole walkway to Tipsy Tuna.
Yeah, which was out on the beach.
Right. We didn't take that because we went to Barefoot Beach Bar, which was another way. And they have their signs, but not as good as Tipsy Tunas.
Tipsy Tunas were very, very funny. You know, the giraffe walked into the bar type of jokes.
Oh, they don't have that one, but that's a great one. That was not on a bumper sticker or a bar sign. That was one that a former host at HSN said on the air.
Yes, all the stories.
Jack Wheeler was his name. And he really did treat, he was in the early days of the shopping channel. He treated it like it was, you know, a late night talk show.
What time of day was he on?
He was in the mornings. I want to say like on the third network back then. HSN had 3 networks. They had Network 1, Network 2, and Network 4. Go figure. He was on Network 4. But yeah, it's a pretty funny joke. Probably one I won't tell here.
What was funny though, also, we were watching his show, you know, I'm sure you do the same thing. Is it still called DVRing? Is that like a verb now?
Yeah, it could be.
If you record your show so that you can watch them later and kind of blow through the commercials. I think the Super Bowl is the only day or the only show that you watch where you don't blow through the commercials. You want to watch the commercials because they're just always so good. But we were watching a show, one of our favorites on DVR, and ass was actually a word that was brought up. I said, see, it's okay that you said that last week on Sunday Funday.
I knew it was because I listen to radio a lot where they
say all
certain
kinds of things.
Yeah, so I know what's kosher and what's not. And when they're bleeping it out, I know exactly what it is that they're saying.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But some of the words are okay to
And of
slip
course,
through.
what Judy's referring to my new name for her last week?
It was
Mondays.
the bedroom arms. Yeah, that came out last week.
And I wanted it to be badass and beyond.
And you guys wrote in. I mean, one after the next after that. Oh, that's good, Paul. That's so funny. So yeah, I think the clever names always.
Well, just
get your
like
attention.
you were saying something about the pirates and booty.
Exactly.
So.
Yes, I looked it up. That's okay to say. On TV too.
Anyway, I want your predictions.
Okay.
So you have to predict who's going to win.
Oh, and what the score is going to be.
And what the score is.
It's like those.
Maybe we'll have a prize for whoever's closest.
Okay, so you can write that in the comments. What do you think?
Or does it have to be?
Chiefs fan wrote in just a few minutes ago.
Does it have to be?
For the Chiefs.
Does it have to be exact to win the prize, or just whoever's closest? I don't have a prize yet, but
well, usually in the latter things, don't they do
squares?
Or squares, yeah.
Yeah, but that's at the end of each. If it ends
at the end of each quarter,
if it ends in those two numbers,
lands in those two numbers.
The score lands in those. But I'm talking about who's going to win and what's the score, and whoever's closest, we'll think of something.
Okay, all right, we'll think of something. That's good. Good to have a prediction.
Mm-hmm. What's your prediction?
Oh man. Well, I mean, living in Tampa Bay, I'd like to be able to predict that the Bucs are going to win. It would be very exciting.
Well, it'll be interesting. You know, the Chiefs won last year.
Yes,
and
I do. And I know that there's one. Kansas City 27-20. She thinks that means it's going to be a good game.
I think it's going to be a good game.
I think that's the most important thing. Right?
I think that
keep you on the edge of your seat.
I mean, this is
and then nobody gets hurt. That's my biggest deal.
On one side, you have the GOAT, greatest of all time, Tom Brady, 43 years old.
He's 43.
And then you have us old people like to vote for root for the old guy. Patrick Mahomes, however, very young, but already a Super Bowl under his belt and
very talented.
Tremendous record.
And very different styles.
Yeah, and both defenses are very good. So there's going to be pressure on both the quarterbacks, which is good. But I think it will be high scoring. Like, I don't think it's going to be a low scoring game. I think it'll be a high scoring game.
All right, so I have another prediction.
Bucs
31-21.
Okay.
And Dan, 34-20.
Okay.
So very interesting back-to-back predictions, you guys. Very close predictions. You have a prediction? You're better with the kind of pulling out scores than I am.
If it were Eli Manning playing for Kansas City, then I would say Kansas City's going to totally win because Eli Manning was 2-0 against Tom Brady. Giants beat them twice in the Super Bowl, which is interesting. I think that probably it's tough to say, and I would have probably said the Chiefs as my first instinct, but I felt like and they've been great all year. They've been great for 2 years, but I also think that the Bucs were gelling at the right time. So not having a full preseason, Tom Brady didn't have a lot of time to gel with his receivers, and now that's coming on. And then their defense is coming on very well, which is how they ended up beating New Orleans, who they lost to twice, and then going to Green Bay in bad weather and beating them. So
yeah,
I mean,
it's anybody's guess, but you still haven't committed.
I haven't.
You're not going to?
I might. How much
you're going to put it? You're going to put it in the notes?
How much time do I have?
Because we're done in 60 seconds.
Really? Bucs 84, Kansas 6.
38,
31,
to 35.
I'm going to go.
You're all predicting it's going to be a very good game and a very high scoring game, which is interesting.
I'll go 31-27.
Which team's the 31 and which one's the 27?
I'll go Bucs because I have to answer to all of my neighbors. So
they're going to come back down and throw eggs at our front door.
Plus, I was playing golf with my son Kyle and two of his friends from college who I hadn't seen since father-son fraternity night.
in college.
So that would have been 10 years ago, maybe something like that. And one of them worked in the accounting department for the Bucs, Steve.
Yeah.
So he would be very upset.
Yeah.
Funny story about Steve.
All right. I said you had to be done, but it's okay if it's a funny story. We love good stories.
No, it was so during the father-son fraternity night, there were two things that were very funny. Number one, well, even though some of the kids were underage, there might have been some beer consumed, but we were at a bar where all the kids were on one side and the dads were on the other side, and they were all giggling, and we didn't know why. And then they're like, everyone was saying,
Were you sitting across from each other?
sitting across from each other. It's like a 30, like they look like the kids. And it's like the 30 years. Here's what you're going to look like in 30 years.
So a
So it's
spit and
funny.
image type thing.
So the next,
Did you all feel the same way when you looked at the boys and the fathers? Were you able
we
to
were,
be
I
objective?
guess we weren't
Like,
paying attention, but when they brought it up, it was
Yeah, you kinda went,
really funny.
oh, yeah, that's true.
And then
You knew who went with whom.
they usually have, this was at the University of Florida where Kyle graduated. And it was, they usually had that on a game with a very subpar opponent because that way they could get tickets for all the dads to go in and everything.
To be able to go, yeah.
Well, one of Kyle's friends, Steve,
The floodgates have opened.
who's now in the accounting department, he gave me his student ID.
So that you could go to the
So I
game
could
with
go to
Kyle.
the game with Kyle and use his student ticket to save all of like $5. But we got the one guy who I think wanted to be in the FBI or something like that, and he confiscated Steve's ID. So we didn't go to the game. We went to a bar. We met up with Steve and his dad, and I said, "Hey, sorry, I guess I can't pass for 20."
No, and you also lost your student
He
ID.
goes, yeah, he's like, "Oh, it's not a big deal. I get another one." So when I saw him on the golf course, I said, I feel I owe you. So if you want to use my AARP ID to get some discounts,
To get a
it's all
free donut
yours.
at Dunkin' Donuts. Oh, my. Well, we hope it's a good game. We hope
Yes.
it's a safe playing game, high scoring game, and lots of really good commercials.
And good sportsmanship, and nobody gets hurt. How about that?
That's what I said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Happy Sunday Fun Day. We always enjoy your company. We'll go back and read through your comments. Please share the broadcast if you'd like to
Yes.
on your own Facebook
We
pages.
appreciate that.
And remember, tomorrow morning, you'll be able to watch this little episode right here. Lemon chicken on In the Kitchen with Paul and Judy
Chicken à limon.
over on YouTube. So we will see you next weekend, which will be Valentine's Day. So it'll be a Valentine's
Oh, that's
Sunday
right.
Fun Day. Yeah. Let's figure out what I have with a heart on it. I think I actually do. I have a sweater.
Might have to have a gift for you of some sort.
Yeah. Bye. Thank you.
Why are you whispering?
Because time to go.
Okay.